played here tonight, but she's kind of really filled in on that role as a tip away from IUP, keeps California in possession. But, you know, we've seen a little bit of a different look, a different lineup each week. Kind of seems like the players that shine in practice or even shine in that last game gets the nod from Jess Strom.
Yeah, exactly. You hit the nail on the head. You don't know what you're going to get out of this Vulcans team because whoever's stepping up that week, they're going to be in the starting lineup, and you never know who it's going to be.
Never know. It's also health, as Abby Sporio puts a shot up, no good, and almost got the rebound was Gianna Flood-Francis, but IUP keeps it alive. Now with 3 minutes and 35 seconds left before the halftime break. IUP up by 10 still, 32-22.
You can just tell with Parsons have to be careful with those 2 fouls. She's just not her typical self. Defensive end.
IUP cashing in on the offensive side, with Parsons having 11 points here tonight and 2 fouls. And we talked about in the pregame, and we're going to keep reiterating it, the fact that, you know, she's lacking, if she's not out there, that team is lacking a little bit of height and scoring ability. As Hahn, another three-pointer from the corner off the front of the rim, no good. Parsons gets the rebound, and then she will be fouled.
They're going to call that foul on Are they going to call that foul on Parsons? Sporio.
Called on Sporio. I didn't see her near the play.
I didn't see her either, and that's a frustrating one for California. Things just don't seem to be going their way right now.
As we're up a little bit high, if you want to call it the Hawk's Nest. I don't want to play into the home crowd, but
stay tuned. We may be seeing a hawk flying down from the crowd here shortly.
Bit of confusion out there with Gina Valacorsa and Abby Sporio kind of tripping in. Sporio hitting the deck, but keeping it alive for California. It's now DJ Hahn, flashy dribbling behind her back against Brittany Robinson. Outlet pass from Shatera Parsons goes over to Flood-Francis. Now Gina Valacorsa puts up a shot, no good off the front of the glass, and then a block from IUP. Now a 2-on-2 in the break. Wolosik going to the hoop, gathers herself, and she will be she would call it a travel, excuse me. I always thought she was going to be fouled on that one. But nonetheless, California takes over possession.
They do, and missed opportunity there for IUP, but for California, down by 12, have to get some points on the board right now. They're struggling in the offensive end. Somebody's going to have to take over right now and just try to get to the basket here.
I mean, this is not the kind of position that head coach Jess Strom for California wants to see themselves in, down by 12, especially with 2 minutes left before halftime. Flood-Francis gives it over to Parsons. Parsons drives in, spins away, gets it right back from Parsons over to Flood-Francis. Making some space for herself, no good. And a shot clock violation, a lot of pressure there from IUP, results in a turnover.
California is just struggling on the offensive end. I haven't really seen the California team not be able to just find open looks like we're seeing right now for California's IUP defense is doing fantastic.
Pressure there yet again from California, this time resulting in a little bit of a push. That's going to be on Abby Sporio yet again, and she's questioning that call quite a bit. Appleby at the line, shooting 75% this season, hits her first. Mia Cushan comes back into the game for the Vulcans.
We're not even in halftime, Danny. Abby Sporio taking a seat on the bench with 3 fouls.
That's not the position you want to be in, most definitely, as Appleby hits both. Up by 14 now are the Crimson Hawks. 1:30 left. Hahn finds Valacorsa, her teammate and cross-court Flood Francis. Working around the perimeter for California. Now they're going to slow down and set up play. Spinning away, and then a jump ball right into the arms of Brittany Robinson, and resulting in yet another turnover for California.
Just something about this air. Temperatures get down low, the snow starts to pick up, and California just loses themselves. Now they're just struggling in the offensive end, uncharacteristic turnovers. This is not the start that they wanted.
And a travel called, so California getting a little bit of help on the defensive side just due to the fact that IUP keeps getting called on these travels. Turnover, gets the ball right back, and then California gives the ball right back, going back and forth. Gina Valacorsa finds DJ Hahn, under a minute now. Over to Parsons. Parsons gives the ball right over to Haley Denman. Now working over the floor, right across that baseline. In the corner now, Megan Smith shot up, no good. Keeping the ball alive for IUP is Haley Denman. And then getting it right back, another opportunity, and this time cashes in. Big three-pointer from the corner.
Megan Smith, she is leading the Crimson Hawks this season. She's 6th in the PSAC in points, and she is absolutely shut down. What a three-point threat she is.
Now the shot clock is off. 17 seconds left before halftime. IUP and the crowd is getting involved in this one. Turning up the intensity. Big possession for California, as now Mia Kushan puts up a shot, and she will be fouled going to the hoop. Foul is on number 23, Haley Denman.
Excuse me, what were we going to say? This is a third foul?
That's her first foul.
These two schools at California, but the difference is they have Mickey Glenn, and California is able to score over 20 points in the third quarter. They don't have that here tonight for this matchup, so that could make things very difficult to climb back in this one.
Jatera Parsons is definitely that scoring threat for California this season, as Kushan misses her second. Now down by 16 are California, 2 seconds left. Puts up a shot and will be blocked away from Mia Kushan. So just like that is how the first half of this matchup will end. California down 23-39, but stay tuned. We have some more Vulcans women's basketball right here on CUTV and live on CUTV Sports 1.
Dylan, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia can watch our stuff up here.
They can follow us on Twitter, or they can like us on Facebook.
That's awesome. What about our sports? How can they watch that?
They could watch it live right on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
of Pennsylvania. Once again, I am joined by Stephen Ruffing and Dylan Godet. And Dylan, this first half of this contest, California not really seeing the best side of things, down by 16. And break down these halftime stats really show why this lead is so big.
Yeah, California struggled in that first half, only shooting 9 of 27. IUP, a different story, shooting 50%, 14 of 28. California 1 of 3 from behind the three-point line. We mentioned that IUP could take advantage from behind the three-point line, and they did, hitting 4 of 9. Free throws, California struggling there as well. 4 of 9. IUP 100%, 7 for 7. Rebounding, another key statistic here. IUP with a 10 rebound advantage, 22 to 12. They are leading the rebounds. Turnovers, IUP does have more turnovers than California with some travel calls there, but California, a telling statistic as well, no points off of turnovers. And that is, I think, the #1 statistic. That's how California scores the basketball. And if they're not able to score given with points off turnovers, then they are going to struggle, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of struggling out of California as they were outscored 20-8 in that second quarter of play, Steve. And you can't do that. You really want to be on the right side of things, especially when you're down. They haven't been up in this contest since earlier on in the first quarter, maybe even half at all. But, when Vulcans were held without a field goal for the last 6 minutes and 5 seconds of the second, to be writing something up over there, and maybe seeing a little bit of a different look too. Maybe some players coming off the bench, and that's something that she likes to do at halftime, the break.
And I think you really need to get DJ Hahn heated up. Shatara Parsons can't get those points inside right now. Try to go outside the perimeter, try to feed DJ Hahn those balls, kick it out to her, and we'll see if she could just get that three-point game going.
Yeah, it's going to be big for California. If they can do that, we'll be seeing a little bit of a different outcome, as Abby Sporio working against Haley Denman, and her first shot will be blocked away from the Crimson Hawks. Now trying to keep it alive is Megan Smith, and she does bring it across half court. Now it's a 2-on-3 for IUP, and just like that, a few traded possessions, and California will be called on the travel. That was a clear travel right there on Shatara Parsons, not being the smartest out there.
And she was not, and she struggled here. Not the Shatara Parsons that we're used to seeing, just struggling and with foul trouble as well.
And Brittany Robinson splitting the defense from California and getting right to the basket, and just cashing in yet again are the Crimson Hawks. Something also we can mention, if you're watching this online, we apologize, there's a raging storm happening outside. So
well, let's say raging, but it is snowing outside.
All right, weather guy over here. As IUP could not stop California on that last possession. California scoring, now scores 25-41. And from the corner, Megan Smith heating up. Now another big three-pointer for IUP.
Yeah, another big three-pointer. And another thing telling about this place here at IUP, the popcorn smells absolutely amazing. And it's kept me hungry throughout this entire game.
Yeah, most definitely has. It's probably the best smelling anything I've ever smelled.
Literally, I want to wrap this smell up and just carry it with me all around. And
it's one of the main food groups.
It is. It is a food group. Kind of like maple syrup and sugar.
Yep.
Right?
Popcorn is the belle of the ball.
It's more expensive than gold by weight, right? Right, Steve?
It is. I can't break down the numbers. I don't think we have time for it, but trust my word.
As California working with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left before the third quarter. Driving in here or the Vulcans with Shatara Parsons. No good on the shot. Now ramping up the pressure as Brittany Robinson brings it across that logo at midcourt. Robinson going right to the hoop, getting her shot broken up, and then her stepping out of bounds right there, right in front of the baseline.
Full credit to Mia Couchon coming in right before Brittany Robinson put that shot up, getting a hand on it, drawing some contact on the ball, blocking it, and then Brittany Robinson couldn't keep her feet out. So Mia Couchon started that, turnover from IUP.
Now Mia Couchon lining up a shot and sinking it. That's her first bucket in quite some time. That's her 6th point here tonight.
And she's a player that can step up big time if Shatara Parsons isn't providing any points. If she isn't getting down in the paint, Mia Couchon could be stepping up just as much.
And Megan Smith's pocket was picked, but Abby Sporio trying to keep it alive, hit the ball right out of bounds, kind of straight down. Saw the inbound play with Haley Denman for IUP. 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Denman finds a wide open Brittany Robinson. And another drive to the basket, pressure yet again this time. And that'll be a foul called, actually a timeout called by IUP, I believe before a foul was called. So it's a play there from IUP.
It's an interesting game as well, as Coach Tom McConnell for IUP against California is only 2 of 9 overall in his career. So definitely a surprising outcome here in this one, as California usually has the upper hand in this matchup since Tom McConnell made the trip from assistant for Old Dominion at IUP. He's had fantastic success with this IUP team. Worst record being his first year at the helm, finishing at 18-10. But last season finished 24-7. The season before that, 21-9, 25-4 back in 2014-2015. So Tom McConnell, originally a Division I men's coach at St. Francis, but moved his way into the women's ranks, and now he's one of the premier coaches here in this region and nationally as well.
Yeah, they're sticking around in the national polls. I believe they're ranked 11th, and California is sitting at 21. So both of these teams still in the talks for the national tournament, but, you know, California, it's not the spot that they're used to being in. You know, it's normally flip-flop. Having 2 wins against IUP would be huge for them this season. 2 good wins, if you could say, and if IUP takes 2 losses, you know, maybe those are good losses.
It could shake a lot of things up. Edinburgh on fire, an 8-game win streak right now. They're absolutely on fire. So if IUP loses this game, Edinburgh can sneak its way to the top.
Yeah, it could really. Yet again, she's a regular at this free throw line.
Shatera Parsons' 3rd foul.
Her first is good, as she is a perfect 6 of 6 from the free throw line here tonight. 2 makes for her. Actually, now she is 6 of 6. Gianna Flood-Francis at the helm for California now with 7 minutes and 25 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. Spinning away, then giving it over to Kushan. Kushan fakes a shot and eventually does shoot it. A little bit off on that. A bit of pressure there from Lauren Bolosic. Bolosic takes it coast to coast and gets it to fall. DJ Hahn trying to draw the charge on that one. One of those rare times that she does not do that. That foul drawing machine.
Yeah, she had her feet set. She had her hands up, but not enough contact draw, it looked like.
Now with Shatera Parsons feeling the pressure from rival in high school, Brittany Robinson. Now under 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Abby Sporio will be called on the carry. So turning the ball over yet again are these California Vulcans. They find themselves down by 21 now.
We have a Flamingo sighting here and at the Ed Fry Arena. I've never seen a Flamingo at a basketball game.
I've never seen a Flamingo in general, so that was the first time I've seen one. As Britt Robinson converts for the Crimson Hawks. Now as they eclipse the 50-point mark. Can't do anything on offense, it seems like, for California. They find themselves down by 23. And just like that, a missed shot from DJ Hahn. Keeping it alive, though. A friendly give from IUP allows them a new shot clock. Kushan tiptoes on the baseline, then it would seem to be almost fouled on that one, but staying away from it was Brittany Robinson. Now Haley Denman on offense, gets a shot up, no good. Shatera Parsons coming up with the rebound. Flood-Francis brings it across half court. Working on that perimeter yet again are these Vulcans. Looking to sub in is BB George. They're going to say a foul called on Brittany Robinson. Kind of hand checking on that one.
There was some hand checking there. And subbing in BB George now. Maybe she can provide a spark. But this is getting well out of hand for the Vulcans. Down 50-27. I can't remember seeing the last time that a California team just dominated in the fashion that IUP has dominated them here today.
And that's that sub-in that I mentioned a little bit before, talking about how Jess Strom likes to switch things up mid-game, after halftime even. It's Valacorsa working around that perimeter yet again. Finally getting some penetration with Mia Kushan, and she will be fouled. kind of saying finally after that one. She'll go to the line to attempt 2. It's the second team foul here this quarter. Readying her first from the free throw line this season. She's shooting 80%. First one is up and good. Kushan is now 2 of 4. Second is up and good as well, so 3 of 5 now for the junior guard from Raytown, Missouri. IUP and Lauren Milosic on offense now. Give it over to Haley Denman, cannot control the pass as California will take over.
Sorry, you can
Thank you. And that's a very rare, I was just going to say, it's a very rare unforced turnover from IUP. Really playing great right now. Not very familiar with them, kind of just throwing that ball away.
But California, this is a big possession for them. They could maybe build some momentum, cut this thing within 20, and just continue to try to climb back in this one. But it's a steep.
Mentioned kind of tripping over our words over here. This three-headed broadcast, you know, we're all sitting next to each other. It's kind of difficult to hear sometimes. We're about to talk. As Lauren Milosic on the outside for the Crimson Hawks gives it over to Appleby. Appleby drives in, puts up a floater, no good. Deanna tries to put up the second chance look, no good as well. And Appleby, a quiet 12 points. Kind of seems like all of her points were earlier on in that first quarter of play. Now, Parsons trying to back down Deanna yet again. And trying to draw the foul, throws her body down. And here's a media timeout. And that will be called on Shatera Parsons. That is her 4th foul. Steve, good eye on that one. It's big. You really have to take her out. Now, Dylan, we have some more standings over there on the graph.
Yeah, just a reminder, as this game continues, as it started, the PSAC West standings, IUP can really stand their neck-and-neck battle there with Edinboro, getting a decisive win here today against California. For California, that really takes them out of the hunt for a possible 1 seed in the PSAC West, so makes it tough for them. Now we're looking at the PSAC East, and again, we mentioned Westchester and East Stroudsburg, really the cream of the crop when it comes to the PSAC East. And the West is hosting this season, so you won't be seeing Westchester or East Stroudsburg come tournament time. But Danny, IUP setting themselves possibly hosting come PSAC tournament time.
Yeah, they are, and you know, I think our crew at least would not mind that. Not that far of a trip away. Normally we have to travel quite a bit. You know, a few seasons ago we were lucky enough where it was pretty close. Last season, I believe, where was it at last season, Dylan? Do you remember? Shippensburg. So they travel a little bit, stay over, kind of my neck of the woods out there in Shippensburg. So kind of experience different things. This is the first time I have been in the Kovalchuk Center, and I believe this is the first time you as well, Dylan.
It is, and it's a fantastic arena here, the Ed Fry Arena inside the Kovalchuk Center.
And a big three-pointer there from Carolyn Appleby, spreading this lead yet again, now up to 22.
15 points for Appleby. A quiet 15 points, if I'm not mistaken. She nailed that 3, but a quiet 15 from Appleby.
Out of bounds, but California keeps possession. Subbing back in is Gianna Flood-Francis. Out is DJ Hahn. Corsa gives it in over to Jameer Jeffries. She subbed in as well. Definitely a different look out there on the floor for California. Jeffries drives in against Deanna and kicks it right back out over to Kushan. Kushan shot up off the glass, no good. Deanna comes down with the rebound for IUP. And now working it up the floor, having some numbers, 2-on-2 now. Now with Stapleton giving it over to Megan Smith. Smith shot off, and BB George coming up with the rebound. Bella Corsa gives it over to Flood-Francis. A little friendly tip from IUP. Flood-Francis puts up a shot, no good. And they're going to say there's a foul on the ground on number 25, Mara Deanna. And that is her third foul. And no points here tonight. Got to keep an eye on her. Kick ball off of Audrey Stapleton. That inbound really didn't get off the ground. And Deanna tips it away, so playing a little bit of a hot potato out there. Nobody wants to get the ball.
Back and forth, you know. California inbounding, knocked out, inbounding. They'll get it down.
And there it is. The ball finally comes in over to Gina Valacorsa with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left before the fourth quarter begins. California still trailing in this one by 22. George drives in, then kicks it right back out. Trying to create some momentum for this California team as they're under 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Step back shot up by Flood Francis, no good, and BB George fouled on the ground. As called on Mara Deanna yet again, so that's 4 fouls, and no points, and subbing back in with 19 points, as well as Kellen Appleby with 15. So those are 2 solid contributors. And the 2 of them have outscored California's entire team here tonight.
Megan Smith, an above average night so far, averaging 17.1 points per game, having 19. What an athlete she is.
Wolosik keeping the ball for IUP. Pressured as BB George, and then Wolosik gets the open look over, passing it around, now over to Audrey Stapleton. Stapleton shot up, no good. BB George coming up with the rebound.
What a different crop of players we're seeing out on the court for California. BB George, Gianna Flood Francis, of course Mia Couchon's out there, Gina Valacorsa, players, you know, that you don't tend to see playing with each other on a game-to-game basis.
There by Mia Couchon.
And now other way, Carolyn Appleby shot up, no good, and no call as well. Interesting look right there. One player was trying to draw the foul, another trying to execute on it. Turnover there, kind of errant passing. Now Wolosik going to the basket, putting a shot up, no good, but she will be fouled on that, sending her to the line. Lauren Wolosik with 7 points here tonight, 2 fouls. Wolosik shooting 68.2% this season from the free throw stripe. Some more sub-ins coming in for IUP. After the shot, Carolyn Appleby subbing out, as well as Megan Smith. Coming back in as Lexi Griggs and Haley Dedman. Her second from the line is up and good. Spreading the lead yet again, still at 22. Flood Francis at the helm, 1 minute and 20 left before the fourth quarter. Using the screen and then bouncing it right back out. Over to Couchon, and she'll be called on the travel. So taking it right back are the Crimson Hawks now with 1 minute and 11 seconds left.
I can tell you what California will be working on in practice this coming week, and that will be offense and trying to get open looks in the offensive end, because that is what they have struggled with all night long.
Briggs going to the hoop, and no good on the shot. There's only one player out there on the floor with points, and that is Mia Couchon. Everybody else a fresh sub in. Valacorsa brings up the floor. Flood Francis in the corner working against Brittany Robinson. Spins away, tries to keep it alive, and then right there, Lauren Wolosik sniffs the ball away and gets it right back. Trying to keep this one alive, and then fouled. Gina Valacorsa will be called on it. Looking very frustrated out there on the floor as California, a lot of dismal faces.
Yep, absolutely. And how can't you? I mean, is Shatara Parsons your top point scorer out on the bench because she's in foul trouble, as well as Abby Sporio, another point, a couple points from IUP. Abby Sporio, a defensive threat for California, on the bench because of foul trouble. It's discipline that got California into this situation. Now they can't score any points. You know, you always have to trust them to come back in a game like this, but right now, you're exactly right. A lot of dismal faces right now on the California side.
A late call on that as well.
It is a bit of a late call. For California on the verge of being down 30 points, I can't tell you. I don't think it's happened in our time here at Cal U. Just being down by this many points and just being dominated.
Right. We've been treated to some great basketball, and we're not used to this. We're definitely not used to this. A lot of changes are going to be coming in practice. Of course, you know, in California, they knew what they were coming into. IUP 13-0 at home, outscoring opponents nearly by 29 points. In California, all of their losses on the road. They had to prepare for this.
Stay tuned as the fourth quarter will begin as we have some more Volk TV and live on CUTV Sports 1.
Dylan, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia can watch our stuff up here.
They can follow us on Twitter or they can like us on Facebook.
That's awesome. What about our sports? How can they watch that?
They could watch it live right on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Hello and welcome back into Indiana, Pennsylvania here from the Kovalchuk Center, more specifically the Ed Fry Arena inside the Kovalchuk Center. Welcome back into the broadcast. I am Danny Beck, and joining alongside me is Stephen Ruffing. Dylan Godet kind of went on a little bit of a trip of his own, so we'll see when he comes back. But Steve, right before we were about to go to commercial break, you mentioned something that's quite interesting, that all of California's losses have been on the road. They're 18-4, I believe, on the road this season. Excuse me. Not 18-4.
8-4.
8-4. Mm-hmm. That would be a little bit ridiculous.
Right.
8-4 on the road.
The majority of their season just on the road. No, it is 8-4. All 4 losses coming off the road. IUP 13-0 at home, outscoring opponents nearly by 29 points. California needed to prepare for this. They're a fantastic fan base. It gets loud in here. The momentum gets going.
It most definitely is, and now a little bit of showing some hustle for the ball, trying to get that rebound.
Yeah, I don't know how that foul's on BB George, because for IUP, Lexi Griggs flew her body into Mia Kusham, and then they somehow called the foul on BB George. I just don't quite understand that.
Welcome back into the broadcast too, Dylan. I was letting all the viewers know it. Taking a little bit of a trip of your own as that quarter began. Carolyn Appleby on the inbound gives it over to Brittany Robinson, and keeping her dribble was Carolyn Appleby. Now in the corner, working against BB George. A lot of pressure now as BB George comes up with a steal for California. Going all over the place and then losing her dribble. You don't want to do that, especially when down big 3. Now, you really just want to play smart at this late in the game. So now with Appleby for Crimson Hawks. Less than a minute has elapsed in this fourth quarter of play. Carolyn Appleby getting away from her matchup. Shot up, no good. She will go to the line to attempt some free throws.
Also number 11, Gianna Flood-Francis at the line for the Crimson Hawks.
Foul on Gianna Flood-Francis for California. First shot is up and good. IUP is perfect from the free throw line here tonight. 12 of 12.
I mean, they've just been on in all areas of the game, whether it's the basics when you go to free throw shooting, when it comes to the 3 points, 3-pointers, when it comes to field goals, anything. I mean, they're just excelling in every area of the game right now, and California just struggling. It's just one of those games.
They're automatic, and you really can't. You really have to just drop something to stop a push away from the ball. But that's her first foul, so not much doing on that.
And you know what? I mean, when a team is when a team is playing like this, like IUP is, it gets frustrating, and that could be a reason for Shatara Parsons, for Abby Sporio to be getting into some foul trouble. because it's so frustrating trying to stop this IUP team. No matter what you do, they find a way around it, and it is frustrating. And I can't imagine how it is for a player out there.
But kind of to flip the coin there, for IUP, they had a frustrating game against California earlier in the season at California.
Right, everyone
played uncharacteristic in that game. How well they've been able to just keep their foot on the gas pedal all game long.
I mean, every team has those games. And unfortunately, it's California's night tonight.
Staying perfect from the free throw line. Sure, if you're an IUP fan, you don't want to hear that. I'm trying to jinx them or anything. Mia Kushan picks up her dribble, drives in, shot up, no good. Called on an elbow on that one. Fouls on Lexi Griggs. That's her first as well, so now everybody out there on the floor with a foul. First shot up and good. Trying to emulate that success from the line, from the free throw line. It's California trying to really take a page out of IUP's book. Second shot up, needed points from the free throw line. Nobody's there to kind of put a hand in your face. So California really needs to execute from that spot. Robinson, great pass over to Aubrey Stapleton. Stapleton's shot no good, but she will be fouled. And got to be frustrating. This is where you see the team coming together in these situations. They have nothing to lean on other than everybody else out there on the floor.
And you know what? Sometimes you can see IUP just ending the perfect free throw, percentage. But California, sometimes you see teams turn on each other in situations like this. Not California. They get through it. They go through the trenches with each other. In this situation, they're not going to give up with each other. They're not going to roll over. They're going to keep going.
And they're used to this adversity. A lot of players out, like I mentioned before. There's a blocking foul called on Lexi Griggs. Sophomore guard. It's her second foul here tonight.
That's 2 quick fouls on Griggs.
Flood Francis with the inbound. Finding BB George there. 8 minutes and 10 seconds left before the end of this contest. Over to Hahn, the new sub-in as well for California. There's more experienced players out there on the floor in a situation like this. Putting the shot up, no good, and right there, that height exercised by IUP coming in big. See who the foul is. We'll get that call for you in a second. Foul called on BB George.
Minutes.
I was going to say 2 minutes and some change into this game, or into this fourth quarter of play.
I mean, as the old saying goes, actually, I forgot what the old saying was.
That's how old it was, huh?
That's how old it is. Can't even remember.
Can't even remember. I think it was if the water starts getting the boat, it just sinks, and that's what we're seeing here tonight. I don't think that was exactly what it was, but that's what's in my head right now.
The old saying.
That I don't remember. It's cool though, it's fine. Jameer Jeffries now.
It's that old of a saying that I forgot it.
That's how water works.
So now with Lexi Griggs gets the rebound. I don't even want to bring up his water wet. I don't even want to touch that subject right now. As Haley Denman, a wide open lane, it kind of seems like they've just given up on defense, allowing Denman to just go right to the basket.
30 points. 30 points. I don't think this has happened in the last 8 years for California. Maybe 20. Maybe just keep on putting digits in there, and this may be one of the only times in quite some time that California team has been down by 30 points in a game. And
right.
It's going to be one time I had a basketball practice after a game like this, and our coach called it attitude adjustment, and that may be what we're seeing out here tonight. This team was loose and not really focused in pregame. And that might be a point of emphasis in practice this week.
Right, and what you talk about this 30-point lead that IUP has, maybe something California hasn't seen in the last so many years. I know.
After this game, we'll have the men's game here, and maybe it'll be 66-36 Cal U men. That'd be
Maybe,
something.
yeah.
That would be something, just due to the fact that California knows what they have to do going into these matchups.
They're in instinct mode right now.
They are, and you know, McBride has just brought in a different play style each week. A big game last week against Mercyhurst, so a big overtime win as well on Valentine's Day. Natalia Casals coming in for California. Now with Mia Kushan giving it over, a big three-pointer there from DJ Hahn.
And, you know, you hate to say it, you hate to give up on California. Not really giving up. It's just maybe a little too late.
Smith in the corner over to Denman. Walking on the baseline, and she will step out. Turnover there for IUP.
Literally walking on the baseline.
And Emily Suckling coming in. And just like I mentioned, that's almost everybody now coming in for California, and Shatara Parsons already put on her warm-up. So she's pretty much saying that she's done for the day. I believe she finished with 12 points. Emily Suckling driving in, passing it right back out, moving the ball around that three-point arc. Now Casals puts up a shot, no good. Robinson coming down with the basketball. This might be a preview of a game that we might be seeing later on. You know, if this California team keeps it up like this, and it's not a passing on the inside, then another turnover for IUP as Kendall Hunter, the junior, subbing in. And BB George, that's one thing that she's not afraid to do, is put her body on the line for her team.
Right.
And right there, it's
so quick, too.
Displayed. She is definitely quick. That red shirt freshman from the Virgin Islands. A lot of accents on that team.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, a lot of Australian and kind of that English accent from BB George. Hunter coming down with the basketball for the Crimson Hawks. Taking it coast to coast, and then she will be fouled as the ball soars into the third row of the bleachers.
Of course, Natalia Casals from Spain.
A lot of talent on this team, though,
Yep.
too. You know, it's like a game like this, you'd think this California team, they're not showing what they normally do, but
It's a tough atmosphere.
As Hunter sinks her first bucket of the night. Readying her second. That one's off the front of the rim, no good. And IUP, one of those more sound free throw shooting teams, as Casals puts up a shot off the glass and in. And that's big for a team that can contend later on in the playoffs. You know, you want to hit those free throws. You want to have those easy shots to fall. And just like that, Megan Smith converting on the offensive side.
And per Google, I finally found what my saying was, that old saying. The wheels have come off the bus here for California. I
That's
don't
a
know
nursery
how I
rhyme.
forgot that. Yep.
Not that old.
It is an old saying, though.
Talia Casals looks like she's a little bit hurt on that one. Coming up limping.
And that's just another injury, and for California to just, if she misses any time, which we hope she's okay, that they help her off the court. For California, that makes your bench even smaller, and the depth really struggles. So we're going to take a look now at social media here on CUTV. You can follow our YouTube page at CUTV Sports 1. That's how you're watching our game here today. For our news, you can follow CUTV News Center. Our news gets posted on there. Danny and Steve have been doing a fantastic job of that this semester. You can follow our Facebook page, California University Television, on Facebook, and our Twitter page at CUTV_PA. We don't have Snapchat, we don't have Instagram, but we could get those possibly in the future if viewership demands it.
A little behind the scenes action.
Our Snapchat would be wild.
Snapchat would be crazy. Get the DJI Osmo out there with the Snapchat.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Also, maybe some new technology come next season for California. That's all I'm going to say. Also, CalVulcans.com. Cannot thank them enough. They have us prepared week in and week out. They have you fans at home with up-to-date stats. And something I always like to say is how Matt Kiefer there does a game recap after every single game, writes one up. Some teams don't do one for every single game, but Matt Kiefer makes sure to do that. So thank you, Matt, and thank you the whole staff there.
Making his way out to IUP today as well.
He did make the trek through the snow for this, and this is not what he hoped, I can imagine. But rebuilding, regroup can this team do after this game and head into the regular season. But man, thinking about it now, this sets up IUP with tons of momentum, heading into playoff play.
The wheels are coming off the bus over there, Dylan.
The wheels are coming off the bus.
As BB George misses it on the offensive side. Yeah, I mean, nursery rhymes, if that's your thing, Dylan. Like,
I don't know. Are you talking about the wheels on the bus?
Falling off the bus.
Yes, they're on the bus, so they're coming off the bus.
Yes, because things are just so erratic right now.
Right.
The wheels
on the
nursery
bus
go around it. Yeah. The wheels are coming off.
Or
that
you can
bus.
say the wheels have come off the wagon. That's, I think, possibly what I was
This broadcast
originally
is going off the wagon.
But we didn't have wheels to begin with, so.
We're just on ice skates out here,
We
with the
definitely
snow
are.
outside.
Might as well be. You'll skate all the way back down to California.
Might need to.
Yeah. It's quick. I mean, it's a game like this. California's going to want to skating out of here real quick. So now Appleby brings it in, puts a shot up off the glass and in. And she is a menace out there on the floor now. It's 19 points. A bit of a sub coming in for IUP. 3 subs. Appleby subbing out. Wolosik as well as Megan Smith coming in. Audrey Stapleton, Kendall Hunter, and Lexi Griggs.
Megan Smith coming back in the game, 23 points. It's going to be her 8th game with 20-plus points. What a just unbelievable, or I'm sorry, going out of the game. What an unbelievable feat that is for her.
And DJ Hahn getting the shot to fall. So something to mention, Natalia Casal is back in this contest. Stretched out a little bit, and she's okay, coming back out on the floor. Pushing on the outside, Audrey Stapleton gives over to Denman. Denman shot up and in.
You know, that could have been a cramp maybe for Natalia Casals. Sitting and then coming in late in the game. Maybe a little cramp up, getting stretched out, and good to see her back.
Casal's trying to keep her dribble, and she does, and then Lexi Griggs will be called on the kickball. California down by 33, though. Not a characteristic that they normally are used to. This is the largest, 4th highest points that they've allowed this entire season. Thanks to Matt Kiefer with that Twitter update. It's BB George working against Griggs. Pushing in, shot up, no good, off the side of the backboard on that one. Now with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left before the end of this game. Stapleton shot up and good as well. They eclipse the 80-point mark. So now that's 79-44. So that a little bit prematurely. Valcorsa tries to find Hahn, but instead finds Denman's hand as the ball bounces right out of bounds. Slowing this one down. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. DJ Hahn shot up and good. Big 3-pointer from DJ Hahn.
It's going to be Hahn's 14th point. The second 3-pointer she made in this 4th quarter from basically the same exact spot. She nailed them both. Good to see her heating up.
It definitely is, as rebound there from DJ Hahn. A bit of a stinger on that one. Casals try to corral that one, goes out of bounds as California will keep possession with 21 seconds left on the shot clock. Gets it in over to Jameer Jeffries. Jeffries trying to back down Mara Deanna, puts a shot up off the glass, no good. But it'll be off of Natalia Casal's hands, and IUP will take over.
Thought Casals was going to come away with that one. She came flying in late when IUP got that rebound. Thought she was going to somehow come away with that ball. Fortunately, just right off her fingertips and out.
Lexi Griggs now for IUP has it. And right out of bounds, almost telegraphed that pass, and couldn't see it, was Audrey Stapleton. Plus California will take.
You can follow, you mentioned our social media just a second ago. Check out our Twitter page right now. We put up a possible GIF of what my analogy of the wheels have fallen off the bus could possibly mean.
Let's see a little look into the mind of Dylan Godet, if you'd like. DJ Hahn sinks another shot. That is her 16th point of the night. Under a minute now. California down big, down by 20. At one time it was at 33, so shrinking this lead just a little bit. Over in the corner, over to Lexi Griggs. Shot up, no good, off the back of the rim. Natalia Casal is coming up down. There's a 3-on-1 now. A little bit of sportsmanship as DJ Hahn gets Hallie Edmond up, and then Mara Deanna gets the rebound. So IUP securing this one. Everything but that final buzzer really just closing out this contest.
Yeah, and you know what? California, never the team to just roll over. I mean, look at DJ Hahn coming back into this game with, I think, 11 points. He's up to 16, maybe even less than 11 points when she came back in. Hit a couple of threes. She's putting on a performance so far.
She definitely is, and you know, this California team coming into IUP, and we mentioned it, Dylan said it, you know, this cold weather outside might be Erie-esque, a little bit reminiscent of Erie, and they're not performing like they would in Erie. So it's one of those games that you just have to kind of brush off and, you know, look forward to next week as California has another tough matchup. A lot of PSAC West opponents that are really going at it quite a bit. And this California team really needs to have some confidence going into this PSAC tournament.
Right. You need to have a short-term memory for games like this. Of course, the next couple practices might not be great, but...
And just like that, California falls at IUP 79-49. So any last words, guys, as this game comes to a close?
You know, put this one behind you. Practice this week. I'm sure it's going to be a tough week of practice. But, you know, Wednesday comes around and California's back at it, finishing off the season with two home games. Seton Hill coming up on Wednesday. Saturday is senior night at Clarion comes to California to visit. So just finish off the season. Forget about this one.
And my final thoughts here, just like you mentioned, they're regroup for California. But if I was coach, I would let them know that they need to change their mindset coming into next week, as this is crunch time in the season. This is when it matters most, coming into the last week of the regular season, and they've come the PSAC tournament, of course. But positive that they can win these next two games and end on a positive note for the regular season.
It definitely is crunch time, and this California gets crunched here today, 79-49. That's all we have for this broadcast. For Dylan Godet, for Stephen Ruffing, for everybody else on the crew, thank you for watching Vulcans Women's Basketball right here on CUTV and live on CUTV Sports 1.